Hey, it's Rob, and welcome back for another installment of Wax Wednesday. I gotta slow down. I'm gonna put myself in the poorhouse. Man, oh man, I'm just coming off a couple of days of being like kind of sick. So if I sniff, please excuse that. I'll try to keep that to a minimum. But I did have a very active week in picking up vinyl, so let's get to it. First up, Stars, Set Yourself on Fire. Picked up at Backstreet Records. An amazing album. Really glad I picked this up. It's a 2004 release. It gives you a little bit of everything. It gives you a little bit of indie rock, some chamber pop. Vocally, it's sung in kind of a hushed tone or quieter tone. What it reminds me of is those 4 AD releases that were really big in the 80s and early 90s as far as the label goes. But this is fantastic. Montreal-based band. Played the Harvest about 10 years ago, and I actually got a chance to meet Torque Campbell backstage at a Matt Mays show, and he's a cool guy. Definitely a cool guy. But yeah, Set Yourself on Fire on the Arts and Crafts label. They're part of that family. Arts and Crafts is a label that kind of supports, well, they were kind of set up to support Broken Social Scene and all of that side projects like Feist, Metric, these guys, Stars. Torque has spent some time in Broken Social Scene, so you know they're a cozy little family. So anyway, this is considered a game-changing indie pop album from this century. A really good one, and really glad I picked it up. Under $20, can't go wrong. But this one, whoa boy, man, I'm blown away at how much I enjoy this live album. This is Ella Fitzgerald, live in Berlin, Mac the Knife. It's originally from the early 60s. This is an early 80s reissue, but nice. This is a great sounding album. The thing about her, I always thought like scatting, that's that style of singing where you're kind of making sounds as opposed to words and doing it melodically. It's kind of part of the jazz oeuvre. Anyway, I thought she would do that on all of her songs. But no. First 3/4 of this, pretty straightforward vocals. And she's an amazing singer, like a really great singer. When she does Mac the Knife, who the album is named after, it's one of the first times that she performed it. She booted the words. So she ad-libbed her way through it. It's hilarious. I actually think I might like that version of Mac the Knife more than any, and I love Mac the Knife. And of course, How High the Moon is the showstopper. That's where she pulls out her bag of tricks from scatting, and she is mind-blowing at it. Fantastic album. Ella Fitzgerald, live in Berlin. So that was my Backstreet Taz stop this week. Next up, all right, I went to the Cap. I did, and I picked this up. God, get off my back. It's $6. It's got Iran on it. But the song that I really wanted was Space Age Love Song. I think that's a way better single than Iran. Those two are both on this album. It costs $6. Come on. And you know, a lot of people write these guys off as a synth band, and yes, that was part of their overall aesthetic. But you know, some really cool guitar stuff on this as well. There's a young guy by the name of Paul Reynolds. This guy right here. He's got that delay reverb effect down, much like The Edge from U2, perhaps. I think he's really underrated. Anyway, Flock of Seagulls, $6. Don't come down on me too hard for that. I did find this, and I was really happy about it. This is Dennis Ellsworth. Common Senseless is the name of it. Dennis Ellsworth is a PEI artist. I saw him perform a 3-song acoustic showcase set at last year's ECMAs, and he blew me away. I thought he was the best lyricist of the weekend. I think he's fantastic. Somewhat elusive, as far as I can tell anyway. I don't think he gets out and plays a whole lot, although I see his name creeping up a little bit more as of late. But Dennis Ellsworth, this is fantastic songwriting. Singer-songwriter stuff. This guy's gold. And fun fact, I have it on good authority that when Gord Downey was in his final months on this earth, he was listening to a lot of Dennis Ellsworth. So, does the compliment to a songwriter get any bigger in this country? Probably not. Anyway, Dennis Ellsworth, Common Senseless. He does small runs. This is my second Dennis Ellsworth record. They're both runs of 100. This one's numbered 33 out of 100. So, yeah. There are Dennis Ellsworth albums out there, but keep your eye out for them, all right? Because you won't be regretting that purchase for sure. And yes, there is a third record store. Well, sort of. Every couple of weeks I pop into Evergreen Traders. They have a rack of albums. Not a huge selection, but I often find real finds in there. And this is what I found this time. Kool and the Gang's Wild and Peaceful. This is great. Like, this dates back to 1973. So at this point, they're still a hard funk act. We haven't got to the Celebration, Ladies' Night, Too Hot, Cherish days. You know, they haven't been 3 times a ladyfied like the Commodores at this point yet. No, it's got funky stuff. It's got jungle boogie. The band is tight, and they're just young, but man, they sound like seasoned pros. And this is a great album. If you like funk, you will love this album. So, Kool and the Gang's Wild and Peaceful. So, get that. Now, sometimes we don't go to a record store to get records. Sometimes we enter the world of the trade. This next album came down to some tactile negotiations. I will tell you that much. Not really. I have a friend, Pete Gillies. He collects records too. I love going to visit Pete. He's always got his turntable on. He's always got some cool stuff in there. He's just a fun guy to hang around with. Anyway, he bought this, Out to Get Me. Or Out to Get You. Sorry, Out to Get You. Live 77. This is Cheap Trick. It's a Record Store Day release from a couple of years ago. He's had this for a while. When he got it, he threw it on when I was over there. I said, man, this is fabulous. I love this. But the last time I went to visit him, he had it in a pile of stuff that he was thinking about getting rid of. So I said, I'll take that off your hands. And in our conversation, he mentioned that his Black Sabbath Volume 4 has a skip in it. Ding, light goes off. I've got a Black Sabbath Volume 4. It doesn't skip. I would listen to this Cheap Trick way more than I would listen to the Black Sabbath. So what do you say, Pete? Do we have a trade? And we did. I love trading records. It's one of my favorite things to do. Anyway, thank you, Pete. I love this. This is from 1977. They're still young. They're still hungry. The hits haven't come yet. I think if you compare this to Live at the Budokan, I think I like this a little more. It doesn't have a lot of the gloss that Budokan had as a live album. But man, it's crunchy. You know, these obviously a great live band. And some of the stuff you hear on Live at the Budokan, some of their, in-between song stuff and when they're heading to breakdowns, some of the stuff from the mic will sound a little familiar to you. On the drums, Mr. Bunny Carlos. He does that here too. Anyway, Cheap Trick's Out to Get You, Live 77, Record Store Day release. I love this. So thank you, Pete, and I hope you're happy with your Black Sabbath Volume 4 album. That's it for this week. So till next week, keep spinning your vinyl, and we'll talk next Wednesday for Wax Wednesday.